Welcome to the KILLSHOT MMA podcast for UFC Freedom 250. They're at the White House. We got a huge card. We got something different to talk about for DraftKings. We're going Showdown style. We'll talk about that in a minute. It's so big. We got Geek with us, the fantasy football geek, Kevin, and Monk, as always, is with me. I am Sniper. Guys, UFC Freedom 250. We're finally here. Sunday card, 8 o'clock Eastern, so nobody panic when you don't see fights on Saturdays. How pumped are you for this and the $100,000 up top on DraftKings?
America, the White House lawn, the greatest sport, UFC. What more can you ask for? There it is. The greatest sport. I couldn't be more excited for this one. A little bit weird on the salaries and the single game thing, which we're going to have to get into, because making lineups for this has proven very, very tricky. So we're going to have to, you know, do a little Tetrising and get that all figured out. You can't not, with only 7 fights, you virtually probably have no shot of 5 winners in your lineup. You're going to have to take an L, maybe, probably, possibly.
That does make construction interesting. Monk, I mean, your salary stats are basically doo-doo water this week because you got, how are you handling this?
Everybody at Monk HQ we got the red lights going off. They're all running around throwing papers and shit. We have no idea what to do. This is going to be a one-off fight. This is going to be like a special event because, yeah, we got like $5,000 salaries here. So we'll get into it. I'm super excited for the card, though. Sunday card, little 7-fight extravaganza. And honestly, and we're about to start it. So, but first fight of the night is one of my favorite fights of the entire year, I think.
Yeah, it is going to be a good time for sure. Before we dig into all that, guys, do me a favor, smash the like button, drop a comment with what your favorite play of the slate is going to be. You want to join DFS Army, you got a link down there in the description. You got the optimizer tool, which you desperately need this week, building lineups with all the salaries and projections, and ownership is going to be a big deal, as it always is, but I think a bigger deal, spoiler alert there on some of my picks and thoughts and plays on the slate. So make sure you join up at DFS Army. Give everybody a follow on screen. I think that's enough of that. Let's go ahead. Let's jump into the card. Usually this is where I would bring up the fights and we just start talking fights. We can't do that this week. We have to start with the format. If you do not know, obviously there are 7 fights in the card. We're going Showdown format. So if you played Super Bowl DFS, NBA Finals games, it is 1 games. There are and I believe FanDuel's doing the same. I haven't actually checked FanDuel because I haven't been playing DFS on FanDuel. Been using them just for a little bit of betting.
I actually don't know what FanDuel's doing either for this.
I need to flip over there and do that. But I would assume it would be the same thing. And what that is that you have a captain for DraftKings. Your captain, you are paying 1.5 times the salary. So a fighter who is 9,000, the salaries are also a little bit different, but just if they're 9,000 in the flex spot, they're going to cost you 13,500. However, that person also scores 1.5 times the points. So not just 6 fighters, you also need to pick a captain who's going to score more. But that means that everybody's playing 6 or 7 fights. Probably we can talk about stacks when we get into the individual fights, but that is the scoring this week. It's going to be hard to fit in as many winners, like Kevin said, and you need to pick a captain, somebody that needs to be the highest scorer on the slate, or you're not going to win a tournament. It's that simple. Everything else will work out. Unless a dog is like 5 points off, then maybe some salaries work out. But for the most part, you need a big score.
I'm going to throw in a little something extra there on that note. I have tried to put the cheap underdog in the captain spot and see if you can then fit, you know, and then a second underdog, and then you can see if you can get 4 favorites in the other 4 spots. And you can't. There's almost no benefit in this one based on the way that the salaries tetris together. You can't even really benefit from putting an underdog in the captain spot, unless maybe it's, you know, I'm not going to spoiler alert, but one of Sniper's favorite underdogs here, that's so cheap that maybe it just might work. But beyond that, you just can't. And pretty much on that same note, Mauricio Ruffy is almost unplayable at his price. Like I don't think he's going to be, I don't care what I see. I don't think he's even playable. I have not been able to fit him at all under any circumstances, nor would I
try and fit him as a captain. Your head
no, you can't even fit him as you can't fit him at all. So actually it's almost like we're dealing with, that's what it makes it so weird, because it's a 7-fight card, but you're almost only dealing with 6 fights based on the salaries, which is bananas. It's crazy.
It's going to be a weird. Monk, if you got a chance to look at the structure at all, you got any initial thoughts, or you're kind of just diving into it?
Super brief. I mean, briefly, I've looked at it. I did, find out that it was a captain slate or whatever the official thing is called. So I kind of knew what that entailed. But yeah, I knew enough to know that we had some very low salaries, and I knew Hoofy was like 10K. So I was like, oh my god, so that's yeah. If you're bad at math, that's 15K for a captain spot for Hoofy, which is why they were saying that it's almost impossible to play in this week. So hopefully we can help everybody out.
Yeah, cannot play him. I'm actually checking FanDuel right now. They do have a contest set up, and they did the single game format for it. And no, I have not tried to Tetris together the salaries there to figure that one out. But FanDuel does have this as well. And, it might turn out that maybe FanDuel, I don't normally play MMA on FanDuel at all. FanDuel I like, but not for MMA normally. Maybe today, maybe this time it's different. You can play it. I have not checked the salaries to feel confident, or actually it looks more forgiving. So I'm going to say, I actually think that FanDuel might be the spot this week, as crazy as that sounds. Like it's like cats and dogs living together. Everything's turning upside down right now. And FanDuel is probably the better format this week for MMA based on the salaries. Everybody's going to, whatever wins, unless it's the most ridiculous double stack situation ever, whatever wins is going to be tied to a level. There's going to be so many ties, it's barely going to be worth playing.
Yeah, I'm not recommending mass multi entering this week. If you want to play multiple lineups, I think 20 is your cap. I'd play 20 lineups. I think is fine. I'm probably going to put together one lineup I like that's probably going to be a little bit different and throw that in a couple contests and just enjoy the fights. I got a couple of bets, which we are going to talk about. Usually I say that off the top so the betting crowd doesn't leave us. Yes, we talk DFS, but we'll throw in a few bets, which we had a pretty good week last week, Monk. I think I made more money betting than I did on DFS, and I had a positive DFS week. So
I have a sure thing bet for this slate that you can throw in. I remember last time I came on the show, Sniper. Last time I came on, I believe we were pushing that heavyweight fight, and I said, this guy's a fucking fraud. Bet the other guy. Now I can't remember who it was, but I was like all in. Was it Hokit? I feel like it was maybe no, I can't remember. Gosh, fuck, I should have remembered that. But I've got another one for you. This time
it's gonna be interesting.
That you're gonna lock button in all your lineups. And you're gonna use this as a parlay piece for your bets. And just take the free money. Geek is handing out $100 bills for this episode, people. It's your choice whether to take them or not to take them.
If I had to guess what you're going to say, can I guess and you tell me if I'm right?
Yes.
I'll get one guess and then we won't spoil it. I think you're going to say Diego Lopes.
No way. No way. I love that fight.
Garcia.
That's not a confident pick at all. Are you confident?
I thought you were going to shit on Steve Garcia. I really did.
No, because Diego has just as many bullshit losses as Steve Garcia. They're both like, I don't know, 1 minute terrible, next minute awesome. How do you lose to Luis Pena and come back from that and be awesome? Same thing like Mahachete. You can't lose to Mahachete and then come back from it and be okay. I don't know. Both these guys are.
Apparently you can.
I mean, you can, but I'm saying I don't trust either of them. So no, there will not be a confident pick on that one. Although that fight's really interesting. Are we starting? Let's start at the bottom.
Yeah, let's. I did get my my guess out of the way. Let's go ahead and let's head on over to fight odds and let's start digging into this card. First fight of the night, I teased it up perfectly actually. Diego Lopes versus Steve Garcia. Lopes will come in as the favorite, -148. He actually opened up a little bit bigger around -200. Money coming in on Steve Garcia, who's around now +130. Your fight ends inside the distance prop, which is going to be a common theme on this card. A lot of fights projected to end inside a finish. -250 for this one to end inside the distance. DraftKings salaries, this one I got to go to a different source. I'll give you both this week. Your flex salaries, Lopes is 8,400, Garcia is 6,600. You want them as captains, 12,600 for Lopes, 9,900 for Garcia. We'll start with the guest. Geek, welcome to the show. Now, I mean, you already half broke down this fight. Let's dig into it.
Yeah, I love this fight. All right, so this might be the most exciting fight on the card. Both of these guys are kill or be killed fighters. If you look at Diego Lopes, there's an interesting stat. He does not win decisions. Look at decisions. They go against him more often than not. And the reason is because he's basically a guy who comes in and it's kind of kill or be killed, and he finds a move, he finds a big shot, he finds, you know, a back take out of nowhere, and he wins the fight that way. So what messed with my head going into this fight is like Garcia was fighting Volk like a few minutes ago. You know what I'm saying? Like they had him as like the next man up to be, you know, to kind of
Lopes,
fight for.
You mean Lopes, right? You said Garcia.
Oh no,
Lopes.
yeah, Lopes was fighting Volkanovski like his last fight. Like this guy went from the #1 contender to fighting Steve Garcia, who we kind of look at as kind of a, you know, a mid-level guy. And you're like, wow, okay, that's crazy. That's why it opened at -300. But as you look at this fight, I think it's pretty close. I think here's what the way I see this fight going down is very action, lots of action, but mostly Garcia looking like he's winning until either he wins it or loses. So I think we're going to get a lot of action here. I think it's going to be one of the funner fights to watch. Lots of volume, but I think Garcia averaging over 5 strikes per minute compared to Lopes, less volume. Lopes not going to go for takedowns either. That's not really a concern for me too much. He could do a back grab or one of his, you know, slick, like opportunistic things that Diego Lopes does. But other than that, I get why the line has tightened up, and we need underdogs on this card. I think Steve Garcia, I haven't seen ownership projections yet, but I think Steve Garcia is going to be super popular, the most popular fighter on the card, maybe. He might be the highest owned, just based on I need the salary and I got to get an underdog, and this guy's giving me pretty good odds for the dollars. What do you think?
Monk, what do you got?
I agree. I like Steve Garcia here. This is my favorite fight on the card, as I alluded to pre-show or show opening. I don't know. I think obviously everyone's going to be high owned, right? We got 14 fighters. Lopes though is a super duper fan favorite, and I think that will affect Steve Garcia's ownership. Especially if, you know, unless people are stacking this fight, which if you told me that it was going to go all 15 minutes, then I'm absolutely stacking this fight because we're going to get 1,000 strikes landed, but it's probably not. And yeah, Steve Garcia has a ton of volume. Surprisingly, he gets hit with 2 strikes a minute. 2.08 strikes per minute. His thing is he got knocked down quite a bit early on. Nerdembike knocked him down. The aforementioned Mahashate, they knocked him down twice, and Charlie Ontiveros knocked him down twice as well. So he's got to watch that chin. It seems like he's fixed the issue a little bit because he's fought some banger fights since then. Melky Costa, Cal Nelson was on a run for a minute. Calvin Kattar, David Onama's no joke. Like he's really moving up and really fighting his way through the upper middle class of this flyweight or featherweight division. So I love what I see. I'm gonna keep picking against Diego Lopes, possibly stupidly, but yeah, I'm going to go Steve Garcia. Last thing I'm going to say for DraftKings, Lopes has made optimal lineup in 3 of his last 6 wins. His opponents have made it in 2 of his last 3 losses. Garcia, 6 of 8 wins. Opponents, 1 of 1 losses. So yeah, great fight to target here.
And not much choice.
I think it's a little bit lower than you guys are giving it, are saying. The problem is every fight has got some big upside potential, and I'm actually looking this through the lens of I think that people are sleeping on Diego Lopes a little bit because I think Steve Garcia, to Geek's point, I think he's going to be really popular. I think we forgot how good Lopes was. Volk is like 1 of 1. Yeah, he got knocked out by Topura, but Topura is a whole other animal. Like Volk is no joke, and Lopes was in those fights. I think people are sleeping on sleeping on Diego Lopes. I think that on the feet, sure, it's close and anything can happen. I actually think Diego Lopes is going to close the distance, not going to like wrestle takedown, but be able to get clinches and one of those throws, or just clinch up, use Garcia's aggression against him. Now, I will say that if Garcia can keep it on the feet, anything goes. But he's got a weaker chin than Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes, I think he's more than capable of hanging with Garcia in a firefight. And Garcia, if this fight hits the ground, Lopes is going to sub him. Like he cannot hang with Lopes on the ground. Lopes is a motherfucker when it comes to BJJ. I'm going to go higher on Lopes, but it's hard to really get a gauge in ownership and who I want to go way over, way underweight on, because I haven't started playing with the actual builds yet, other than to what we talked about in the open. Man, it's hard to make a good lineup.
You know what this fight reminds me of, Sniper? You know what this one reminds me of?
Yep.
You know those situations where exactly like what's going on, the field is going to be forced to jam in underdogs. Garcia is going to be that easy button click because it's like, man, he's plus 135. He's got all the momentum. But those are the situations. What you just said exactly nails it. Now you're going to get under-owned Diego Lopes facing a guy who kind of has gotten knocked. We've seen him get rocked many times. And Diego Lopes is a rock you kind of guy. So for DFS purposes, there's a big argument here that Lopes will be under-owned just because everybody's going to play Garcia, because who the hell else are you playing on this card? And so there's a really interesting twist there that I think for DFS purposes, put Lopes as your captain on a couple of them, and maybe he comes out and starches this dude and, puts up a 140.
I'm really looking at Diego Lopes quite a bit. And we should probably talk about this in the lineup construction section, but I think I'm definitely playing the one big lineup. I might play 3 to 5. I'm almost sure, and I reserve the right to change my mind, and I'll talk about it in Discord, which is another reason why you should join DFS Army. I'm relatively sure that all my lineups are going to have an underdog captain. I'm pretty sure, and I won't give it away. I got a couple I like, and I think I'm going to play, okay, this is my dog. I need the salary. There's a lot of high-scoring fights on this card. Let me go ahead and play the 2 dogs and fit in as many, at least 4 other favorites. And
you will not be able to fit the favorite, Sniper. I'm telling you, it will not work.
If I go 2 dogs, one captain dog,
even with 2,
I'm gonna. As you guys are talking the next fight, we will circle back to this. But I'm almost sure I'm gonna be playing underdog captains.
I've been doing it, and I'm telling you, you still have to put a 3rd underdog. And you're like, man, this sucks. I don't want to put a 3rd underdog in here.
That's gross.
Or you almost have to double down on a Periera versus Gane. Like, you just have to play them both because that's where you're left. Just check it out. Yeah. You'll see. It's really weird. It's a weird card to build for that reason. Yeah, it's like you're not even gaining a benefit from putting the dog in there. It doesn't even matter. And then you just switch it out anyway.
I'm totally going to tinker on another screen.
Try it, man. I've done preparation for the card.
I was looking at the salaries, and I just didn't get to the point of building.
When you build it, you're like, oh shit, it's always like 400, 300 away, and you're like, man, I don't know who the fuck can I throw in here. But maybe let's talk about this next fight, because you do have a guy in fight. There's one underdog that's cheap enough. Chandler, if you're willing to do it with him, that might shift things around. So you have to be willing to use Chandler, which I think you are more than others.
Yep. We will talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
First up, we got Bo Nickal versus Kyle Daukaus. Bo Nickal comes in as the favorite, a hefty one at minus 330. The comeback on Daukaus is plus 270. Your fight, I would assume, ends inside the distance because Daukaus' chin has not been great historically. Yep, minus 210 for the fight to end inside the distance, even though Nickal is primarily a wrestler. He does finish people. Your salaries, your flex salaries, Nickal is 8,800, Daukaus is 6,200. Your captain salaries, Nickal is 13,200, Daukaus is 9.3. Monk, take this one first. What you got?
Yeah, this might be one of the underdogs I'm going to have a pretty difficult time to get to here. I just think this fight is kind of tailor-made for Bo Nickal. It's kind of obvious, at least to me, that they're, showcasing him, and that's totally fine. I mean, Kyle Daukaus is no slouch. I mean, he was, asked politely to leave the UFC for a little bit, get his shit together, which he did. Maybe it wasn't polite. I'm just guessing. But yeah, he comes back. He smacks Michel Pereira in 43 seconds, and he beats Gerald Meerschaert in under a minute. So he's feeling pretty good about himself right now, as he should. However, his defense is extremely suspect. Yeah, he only gets hit with 2.9 strikes a minute, but his actual percentage of striking defense is less than 43%. His chin is terrible, like you mentioned. His takedown defense is better than most primary submission guys, which is interesting. And then he controls, majority of the grappling time, which a lot of submission guys don't do that either. But unfortunately for him, he's fighting Bo Nickal, who is on a run. Had a pretty decent looking knockout against Rodolfo Vieira. Took him 3 rounds, but he not took him 3 rounds because it seemed like that was kind of part of the game plan. He was just kind of flowing until he found the KO. So it was good to see him get that rebound win after the RDR fight. But Bo's got the takedown defense. He controls a ton of the control time. He has submission defense. He lands 1 takedown per 5 minutes, and he only gets hit with basically 2 strikes a minute. And his defense is much, 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 much better than Kyle Daukaus. So I don't really see what Daukaus is going to do here outside of, literally Nickal slipping on a banana peel. So I got to get Bo Nickal here. I didn't hear what the ITD was, but I would be surprised.
Minus 210.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably about what I thought. So I just don't know how I can, back a ton of Kyle Daukaus here. And the last thing I'll say, every single one of his fights since 2021, either him or his opponent has made the optimal lineup. So if you're on the Bo Nickal side of things, you should probably play him.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this one second because I'm pretty much just going to agree. All Bo Nickal all the time for me in this one. I don't think it's a shame because we need underdogs, as we've talked about. Geek, you're right. That line, even with the Chandler captain, it's gross unless you play all the mid-range favorites, and then you're like, yeah.
You got to forget about Hoofy anyway. That he's not even in the conversation.
So it's odd, and Daukaus ain't helping my cause here because I think Nickal will get a takedown, probably sub him. Plenty of live dogs, and Daukaus just is not one. All Bo Nickal. Unless he super gasses out again, I feel like I'm reaching, saying, maybe he'll try and get a knockout of the White House, and Daukaus is probably a better boxer still. But as long as Nickal's got not a moronic game plan and has been training, he should win. So I'll take Bo Nickal, and I'm really reaching for reasons to play Kyle Daukaus, and in the end, I won't. Geek, how about you?
Yeah, I fully disagree with both of you guys on this fight. I'm not impressed by Bo Nickal at all. You know what comes in all the accolades from wrestling. I've not been that impressed by him. I don't think he's a mature MMA fighter by any stretch of the imagination. I don't think he deserves to be minus 330 against Kyle Daukaus. Kyle Daukaus is a real fighter. Kyle Daukaus is a guy that wants to go to the ground. So Bo Nickal, his advantage of takedowns, I don't think that's going to really help him too much. Daukaus has really good takedown defense anyway, and he's a pretty good grappler when he gets you. I could see him taking Bo Nickal down. Why not? But as far as this fight goes, I think it's going to end up on the feet, standing, number one. They're going to throw strikes, and I haven't been that impressed by Bo Nickal's boxing at all. He's not an impressive boxer. He's learning the sport. He hasn't impressed me. He don't impress me much.
Easy, Shania.
That's right. I had to throw that in there. But
I do need to say the 2 times Kyle Daukaus has been taken down in the UFC, Eric Anders, Phil Hawes, sorry, he lost both of those fights. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's interesting.
That's fair. And maybe he gets taken down, put on his back, and could be wrong. But I also don't see Bo Nickal finishing anybody, which is why I think the inside the distance odds are crazy on this fight. So another bettable spot here. How about over 1.5 rounds at minus 150? Okay. Or over 2.5 rounds at plus a lot. I don't know, plus money. I don't
plus
know.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, plus like 2 whatever. So over 2.5 minus 150. There we go. Over 1.5. Over 2.5 plus 150. So I like either one of those bets in this fight. Fight goes longer than you expect. And I think Bo Nickal is a bit of a fraud. Not like a wrestling fraud. Listen, he's got his gold medals and he has his accolades and all of that. But in the MMA, he's just not impressed me at all. His fights have not been against anybody good. Look who he's beaten. Let me just remind you guys. And I get it. You want to bring a guy like this up slow because he's like a superstar in the making kind of character. I remember when Rodolfo Vieira was that. And that hasn't worked out that great. But Jamie Pickett, one of the worst UFC fighters we've ever seen. Actually, no, somebody worse. Cody Brundage, okay, literally the bottom of the barrel. Paul Craig, garbage. Sorry. He loses to Reinier de Ridder, who has not won a fight since. So I don't know what you want to do with that. It's not like this guy's impressive. I'm sorry. I'm not impressed by Bo Nickal. That's blasphemous. I don't care. Kyle Daukaus representing the American flag. Bo Nickal, fake American representing Canada. Just kidding. That's not real. But for this card, we need an American to win a fight because all the Americans are looking a little sketch on this card. So I think Daukaus is most definitely one of the live underdogs on the card. Not because I don't think Daukaus is that bad, but I also think that Nickal is a little too one-dimensional. I have not been that impressed
Nickal.
by boxing. Nickal, whatever you want to call him. Nickal is what they call him in Montreal.
Fuckhead. About fuckhead.
He's not that good, man. I mean, he's not. Who's he beaten? I'll take Kyle Daukaus's win over Michel Pereira over every win that Nickal has.
Michel Pereira is a little overhyped too, but
all right, that's fair. And listen, losing to
Derrick, if it's the dog spot you want, you need dogs. You're more confident than I am.
I'm not confident. Wait, hold on. I'm not confident, but like he's my second favorite underdog on this card. If that makes a difference, like after Steve Garcia, I think it's Daukaus, and I don't know that any other underdog outside of like that. No, that pick'em fight. I don't think any other dog is super live.
Yeah, it's well, I think I still have two dogs. We haven't got to my favorite two dogs on the card yet.
Boy, I hope one of them isn't my favored lock button pick of this entire card, and you're going.
I hope it is.
You're gonna
guarantee it.
These guys just disagree on everything. I don't know.
Guarantee
doesn't help me.
Disagreement is good. Grow up and build a lineup. You fuck it. Wait, what? Sorry.
The greatest card.
At least we all agree that Mauricio Ruffy is like impossible to play. That's what we agree on.
You can't play him based on the salary. That's just math. Monk, you should have had that math done in the Monkmatics lab. Like, hey guys, I did some math. And
that's the one thing we were able to figure out.
Yeah, we can't play this guy. He's just too expensive. I got a second guy that you can't play. I think O'Malley can't be played either, I think, but that's another story.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Moving on, we got heavyweights to talk about. At request of the president, you have Derrick the Black Beast Lewis taking on Josh Hokit. Hokit minus 400. Lewis is plus 300. That seems a little weird, but okay. Fight ends inside the distance, minus 700, under 1.5 rounds, minus 195. DraftKings salaries, flex, Hokit is 9,000, Lewis is 6,000. Captain salaries, Hokit is 13,500, Lewis is 9,000. Geek, is this your lock button play? Are we here?
Yes. Yeah. Hokit wins this fight comfortably. Obviously, we all know. Obviously, we all know Black Beast Derrick Lewis has a big punch and he can knock you out. But we also know that the second that doesn't work out, he kind of gives up. You take him down, and he doesn't try to get up, and then he loses, and you're like, fuck, right? When you bet on him. So yes, as much as fine, Lewis is always going to be live for a one-punch smash. What I think Hokit has going in his favor in this fight, amongst all other things, unlike a lot of the opponents of Derrick Lewis who have gotten knocked out, some of them, like Curtis Blades, was just too scared to do anything. And same thing with Ngannou getting scared out there. They've been scared, like, what the hell's going on? But unless Hokit has a mental breakdown in the ring, a la Francis Ngannou when he fought Derrick Lewis, which was an actual mental breakdown that we all witnessed in real time. I've never seen anything like it before.
That was cool. I've never seen someone have a mental breakdown.
Never seen it after, never saw it before, but I watched a guy have a mental breakdown in that fight. It was weird. Hokit just take him down. So, like, when you put Derrick Lewis on his back, he's not going to get up. And Hokit's pretty good at the grappling part of it. I think he's good. I think he's the real deal. I didn't really go for Hokit. Hokit. Why do you call him Hokit?
I think it's in a Hokit. Hokit. I thought it was Hokit.
I'm going to default to what you're saying, but there's no I in that.
Listen to John Anik this week, and we'll know for sure.
Yeah, wait till he says. But I think Hokit's the real deal. 4 takedowns per 15. You know, Derrick Lewis doesn't stop a takedown. The only hope that Lewis has in this fight is to pull a Curtis Blades and knock him out while he's coming in for the takedown. It's so luck-based. I can't see. I don't know. I bet against Derrick Lewis every single fight.
I don't think that Hokit, whatever you want to say his name, is going to shoot a takedown. I think he's got his big boy pants on after knocking out Curtis Blades, and he's going to try and trade with Derrick Lewis. And that is a dangerous motherfucking proposition.
As soon as you feel one punch, that goes away. And then you're like, oh, no. Okay, I want to take him down.
The problem is Blades pieced up Hokit on the feet. You cannot take that. His striking defense is poor. He's a wrestler learning to strike. And it is poor striking defense. And I think he's going to get clipped. I'm going to pick Derrick Lewis in this one. I am going against your lock on here.
I knew it.
You got to play this fight. You absolutely have to play this one. But I'm going to take a stab on Derrick Lewis because this is a step up in, well, power-wise, striking-wise, step up in competition. There's the path for Hokit. If I'm going to play Derrick Lewis in my primary, I'm going to have a secondary with Hokit in there. So I do think it scores well. If he shoots takedowns and has a good game plan, great. If he can get past the first round, Derrick Lewis is always dangerous. But if he can, we've seen Lewis wilt under that pressure. If he's able to eat a punch or close the distance enough where he's not eating a big shot, there's plenty of room for a big score on Hokit. It's not, kind of like your Daukaus pick last time. I'm not super confident about it, but I think of all the dogs in the card, this is probably the one. It's probably the one I think is most likely to win because I think I pretty much and I'm picking Lewis, but it's pretty much the one other I'm considering, and it's more because I don't think anybody's going to play him at all. It's more of a game theory play. I think Lewis is going to be decently owned because of the name value and everybody sees this fight and the odds. I'll take the stab here. Need the salary. Let's go Black Beast. Monk, 1-on-1. Let's go to Derek Cleary for the third scorecard.
No. Not Derek Cleary, not Salamato. No.
No?
Sal D'Amato.
Yeah, no. Oh,
Judge
God.
it here.
Whenever you hear Derek Cleary as the last one, or Sal D'Amato, or Junichiro Kamicho, you go, God damn it, same people every fight.
Even my girlfriend does now. We'll be watching the main event. You're like, oh no, Sal D'Amato. I'm like, yeah, exactly. It's trash.
You know what, Sal D'Amato, when you're betting on a decision and you're taking that plus 500 going into the third round, and you're just hoping, hey, I don't know if one of those judges saw that round two a little different,
right?
And then it comes through for you. You love Sal D'Amato.
Then you can count on him. That's for sure.
You know who's actually the worst is Jaron Lavelle, the referee who sometimes judges. Fucking god awful scorecard. They're real bad. I gotta find a couple.
I just want to add one thing, guys. I'm gonna add something from the previous fight because I forgot to mention my favorite bet on the card. Rather than taking Hokit at minus 400, you go Hokit inside the distance at minus 250-ish, and that becomes your parlay piece to mix in with whatever else you want to do. You're making a face sniper.
No,
hey, if it needs to be minus 700, fight ends inside the distance because you don't have the cojones, I'm fine with that too for a parlay piece. But if Hokit's winning, he's winning inside the distance.
I'm curious because last week, I don't know if you watched the show, Geek. We cashed. I placed the bet live. It was the easiest $100 on plus 200 you ever made. It was the inside half a round of, what was the fight again? Mark, help me out. It was the Iwo Baranushki fight.
Yeah.
Under half a round was plus 200. I'm like, okay. And
we're like, why don't we just do that right now?
Easiest $300 or $200 you've ever made. I placed it on the show and shared the slip. It was no brainer. Yeah, nice. You know what? I'll take a stab on DraftKings at plus 250 for under half a round.
Right.
Sure. That's my favorite bet on this fight.
Under half a round could work. The only thing I'm concerned about with this fight is sometimes the Derrick Lewis fights start off really slow. They're trying to figure each other out. Like the opponent, a little scared to move in on him.
I think he's a dum-dum who's going to fly forward.
I agree.
I like Hokit. I think he's got the swagger. I think he's a real deal. I like his personality. I like all his
personality.
I'm a sucker for personality guys because I come from WWF and I liked it. So I like when they, I love Conor McGregor and all that bullshit that he does. Same. I like that stuff. I told you I liked Cody not Cody.
Colby Covington. See, I love Colby Covington.
Yeah.
Josh Hokit's personality thing. It's too trying. It just doesn't hit me the
Trying
same
too
way.
hard?
I love Colby. It just doesn't. I appreciate you on a shtick. I get it. Pick one. I don't like what he's doing.
He's like the ultimate warrior. He's trying to pull it off,
Yeah.
but everybody's like, bro.
You know what he should do? He should go out and, sorry if you don't watch WWE. If he comes out with even at just weigh-in, somebody paints their face like Danhausen, I am putting all my human monies on that person, all of them.
That'd be awesome.
Like that's if Hokit did that, then I'm in.
I don't know. I like him. I think he's got the swagger, man. I think he's gonna be a real thing in the heavyweight division.
Let's go from a fight that's probably the most playable to one that arguably is the least playable. Sean O'Malley versus Aiemann Zahabi. Sean O'Malley is the big old favorite at -425. Zahabi is +325. Fight goes to decision. -170 to see all 3 rounds. It instantly has to bring Zahabi into play. It just does, especially when you consider the salaries where O'Malley flexes 9,200, Zahabi's just 5,800. Captains, which I can't advocate captaining either of these people, but 13-8 for O'Malley, 8-7 for Zahabi. Deke, I think we're back to you to start first. What you got for this one?
Yeah, I mean, 2 strikers. This one does not. Obviously, Sean O'Malley has all the advantages that he always had, that he always has going into fights. And normally, when he has his length, his height, and all those advantages, unless you put him up against Marav Dawashvili or some grappling maniac, he usually pieces them up. Sean O'Malley's pretty good. Again, he's 5'11". The reach is 4 inches greater than Zahabi's, and he throws more strikes than Zahabi. He absorbs fewer strikes. Everything about this fight says Sean O'Malley is going to win a decision. Is it going to be a high-scoring decision? Probably not. Could Zahabi score well in a loss? Sure. Can he weasel his way into a Zahabi-style win somehow? I think, yeah, sure. Why not? He's a very savvy guy. And if he can somehow pull off a sneaky decision, Sal D'Amato helps out along the way, I guess. But I don't see this fight scoring well for basically, I think Sean O'Malley's unplayable on this card, because even if he has his best fight and he gets a finish in round 2, knocks this guy out, he's still going to be not the highest scoring. He's not going to be one of the, I don't think he'll be one of the 5 highest scorers. And he's going to have the 2nd highest salary on the whole card, or the 3rd. He's like up there in salary. He's not up there in potential. I think it's Zahabi or bust on this card.
Monk, how about for you?
Yeah, it has to be. Hopefully, I mean, I got to pick Sean O'Malley to win, but I have to have Zahabi as the DraftKings pick for all those reasons that Geek just said. Like, I mean, Zahabi's never been knocked out, right? This is supposed to go all three rounds. Then yeah, I don't see how O'Malley's going to score a ton of points to pay that off. And the reason I'm picking him though is because Zahabi, I mean, he fought a 38-year-old Jose Aldo, and I'm not taking anything away from Aldo, but he was towards the end. Pedro Munoz, same thing, and then it's Basharat, it's Arichi Lang, Ricky Tercios, Draco Rodriguez loses to Morales, loses to Hamosh. I know he's been on a good run, but this seems like a gigantic step up. Like, have you guys ever been to Red Rocks, seen a concert there? You know how big those steps are, and you have to go to the bathroom. They're like this tall, and there's 1,000 of them. That's the steps that Aiemann Zahabi is taking against Sean O'Malley here. And you're right, Geek. Sean O'Malley lands more strikes. Zahabi's got great defense, but it's primarily focused on an 84% takedown defense. His control time defense is great. He doesn't need any of that. None of that's going to matter in a Sean O'Malley fight. And while his striking defense is okay, he allows 4.08 strikes per minute. And Sean O'Malley is just that, a volume striker who finds angles. He doesn't need to be the most powerful guy. He doesn't need to have, all the biceps in the world. He finds the angles. He hits you exactly where he knows he wants to hit you, and you go down. And that could happen here to Zahabi, but even if it goes all 3, I just think he's going to kind of dominate the striking. I mean, I like Zahabi, but he's 38 years old, and he's got to not be as quick as O'Malley. That's the bottom line. And a shorter reach, like you said. So, yeah, O'Malley's my pick, but I need Zahabi to I mean, how many points do we need here? Like, he's a decent sized underdog, but he's not the cheapest. I mean,
he has to beat out 2 other underdogs, regardless of if those other underdogs win or lose. You're playing those underdogs anyway. So now it's not about did they win. It's about which underdog, if they don't win, scores the most points. And sure, why not? Zahabi at least probably get you 3 rounds.
He can get you 3 rounds. He might not get you 40 points, and that could be an issue. We'll see.
Totally agree with everything you guys said. I don't think we need to talk this one into the ground here. No way you can play O'Malley. The one thing I will add that nobody mentioned is I'm worried about O'Malley's head in terms of not the champion. Is he ever going to be the champion again? He's made comments. He's got businesses. He's got a family. He's saying all those things in interviews. You go, man, I don't want my fighter saying that, and I get it because that's just he's made his money, so it's really hard to back a guy like that, and especially for a knockout. We're already not playing him anyway, but it just means Zahabi's live, and any kind of win from a dog is instantly optimal, likely.
Yeah.
So. Pretty much agree.
Zahabi is hungry.
Yeah, he is.
I don't buy any of that shit. I really don't. This is Sean O'Malley's not going in here to do anything but win this fight.
No, of course he wants to win the fight. Is he training as hard? Is he just who knows? Regardless, you're not going to play him. It's a little bit incentive to play a little bit more Zahabi. Overall, agree with that. What everybody said. O'Malley's the pick to win the fight. Zahabi's the better DFS play. We're at the co-main event already. 5 rounds in both the co-main and main event because this is technically the interim heavyweight championship of the world. Is that right?
I believe
Aspinall, so. Last I heard, he may never fight again, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, whatever. Aspinall, Jones. By the way, we are officially done with John Jones, correct? I never have to consider a John Jones fight again.
I think so.
God,
wasn't John Jones trying to get the fight on the White House? Like, wasn't he?
Supposedly, yeah.
You always hear this guy chirping about he's going to be involved.
Whatever. All right, I'm going to reset to give this fight its proper due. I'm going to make a new timestamp because fuck you, John Jones. It is Alex Periera versus Cyril Gane for the UFC Interim Heavyweight Championship. 5 rounds. Important to note for DFS, especially with the salaries we have here, because this is our mid-range fight. Periera's -1. It's 110 apiece. It's pick 'em. Pretty much wherever you go, you have a strong lean. Go ahead and make the bet because you are getting the best possible odds in this type of spot here. Fight over 2.5 rounds, -160. Fight ends inside the distance, -220. So Vegas leaning towards a later round knockout. Your salaries for this one. On the flex side, Gane is 7,600. Periera is 7,400. Captains, Gane is 11,400. Periera is 11,100. Monk, we got to have a ton of stats for this one. How you breaking it down? Who you got in the co-main event?
Well, it does make it easier that, supposedly none of these guys are going to go for takedowns. We're going to have a striking only battle, right? And one of them is moving up a weight class, right? So I automatically, I'm searching for a way to pick Poatan here, and I don't know that I can find it. And it's really coming down to the Cyril Gane. It's just, we're talking striker versus striker, right? They both land over 5 strikes a minute. They're really close. Cyril allows only 2.3, while Pereira allows 3.5. And his chin has been tested a couple times. I know Cyril has been hit at least once. Somebody knocked him down. It was tied to Ivasa technically. But yeah, it's going to be the strength of schedule, man. This guy, Volkov, Spivak, John Jones, Francis Ngannou, Derrick Lewis back in 2021. Rosenstrike, all the Volkov, JDS, all these guys were, towards the upper end of the heavyweight division. Cyril Gane has, stood the test of time. I just don't know, man. I'm going to be rooting for Poatan here. I don't know that I can pick him. And it's because of the defense. Gane, both these guys are landing their good volume, well over 5-6 strikes a minute per round. But Gane per round is 2.3 allowed, 2.4, 2.1. 2.5, and 2.2. Those are all extremely low strike per minute averages to have per round. Pereira is 2.5, so we're right there. But then the second round, 4.6, 3.7, 3.7, 4.1. The bottom line is he gets hit way too much. His defense is suspect, especially at distance. And that's exactly where this fight's going to take place for the entire time. So I have to pick Cyril Gane. DraftKings, I think it's a 50-50 proposition, man. They're both close in salary. It's supposed to go a little longer, but might finish inside the distance. I think you're just kind of 50-50 in this one for the most part. But I think Cyril Gane, I think he has to be the favorite.
I mean, it's pick 'em. Geek, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going the opposite way, Monk. And I'll give you some reasons why, but I like Periera here to complete the cycle and possibly cement himself, and certainly cement himself as a Hall of Fame, potentially in the conversation with the GOAT of the UFC in a very short career. And here's the thing about Cyril Gane. I think he's a bit of a, who the hell is Cyril Gane actually, Pete? Why are we so impressed by Cyril Gane? Why? Because he poked Tom Aspinall in the eye? What has he done? Nothing. When he stepped up against Francis Ngannou, lost. All right. 3 rounds against Tai Tuivasa. How do you not knock that guy 2002 Tuivasa out in round 1 if you're this tough monster knockout guy? The problem is he's not finishing anyone. His only finish in recent time was Sergey Spivak, the milk bag. Okay, that's literally his nickname. The milk sack.
Was
Spivak, the milk sack.
I'm thinking of milk sack. Yeah.
He's the milk sack. Looks like a giant sack of milk. Yeah. So I'm sorry. Impress me. That don't impress me either, Cyril Gane. And I don't think he's a knockout guy. My biggest concern with Periera here is that he's going to get knocked out because he's going up against this large man, right? Like, oh, Cyril Gane's huge and Alex Pereira's not that big. Obviously, he's fighting at 185 not that long ago. But I don't know. These fighters are kind of going from 185 to heavyweight like it's no big deal anymore. And I think the skill is much, much higher on the Periera side. I just think he get caught. He does get caught. He does, he could get chinned, and we've seen it. But if I'm taking a lean here, and I'm leaning on Periera to kind of complete the trifecta, the triple crown, as they say.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, it would be awesome. And we'd all be like, hey, man, well-deserved. We watched like one of the greatest of all time, heavyweight, middleweight, all these different weight categories. But also, I just think Alex Pereira is like better. If it wasn't for the fact that Cyril Gane's like a larger fellow, and of course, size matters in fighting, this would be an easy call, right?
Nice add-on, Geek.
Yeah, that's all it matters. Well, I was told it doesn't matter in a lot of other things. I don't know. It's about how you range of motion or something. But as far
range of motion, I don't think that's right.
The motion in the lotion, in the ocean. I don't know. At my age, I don't have a lot of motion in anything. I'm lucky to get up. I'm lucky to get up out of this chair.
It's more of a lake
hurts.
Instead of an ocean. Am I right?
Back hurts. Neck hurts.
Yeah.
Well, either way, Periera needs to thank the true pioneer of going from middleweight to heavyweight, and that is one Jake Collier. So he needs to shout out Jake Collier.
And Jake got some wins at heavyweight, man. Sometimes you want to eat. Sometimes you got to eat.
All right, we are 1-1 on this fight, and this time I get to play the role of Sal D'Amato, and I'm on Geek side. I think Alex Pereira gets this one done here.
I hope he does.
Pretty much agree. I think Cyril Gane, he's not going to be able to wrestle Alex Pereira. He's the better striker. I actually think his left hand has got more power than anything Gane really throws. Gane's got, I do think the only thing I'm a little worried about is Gane probably has better movement for the weight class. Because I'm interested in what Pereira's going to look like at heavyweight. Kind of like when John Jones put on all that weight. He didn't move as great. He didn't need to because he just took Cyril Gane down. But I don't think he moved as well. And Alex Pereira at one point in his life was a 185er. So what's he going to look like moving around? That's my only slight concern in terms of handicapping. But I don't think Gane gets takedowns. I think Pereira is the better striker. I think Pereira is better built for the big moments. Even when getting knocked out by Izzy at MSG, he still beat Izzy twice. Like he's made for these big moments. I'll go with Alex Pereira. in terms of DFS, and I said earlier, 5 rounds is important. This is not one of my favorite fights on the card. Someone's got to get it done quick. It's going to be striking. I think everyone's going to slam one of these two guys in because the salaries are reasonable. And
I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, let me just add this for you. Doesn't matter if you love this card or not. Based on the math, you're probably playing someone from this card. Like, I don't know that it's avoidable. They're in a salary category by themselves. And based on the math, you better like someone, because I don't know how you make a lineup. You can't. Yeah. You're not going to make one.
Ideally, I could pass and not play either. But if I had to play, I'm definitely much more likely to play Alex Periera.
Give me some Alex Periera, man. This is going to be such a fun fight to watch.
Yeah, this is going to be good.
At least in this case, unlike most of the other fights on this card, where we're going to watch like it's Freedom 250 celebrating the 250th anniversary of the founding of the greatest country in the history of the world. And most of the Americans on this card are set to probably lose to their foreign opponents. So what the hell's going on? What the hell is going on?
Yeah. Well,
at least this one's 2 foreigners.
True.
I mean, and you could be crowning a GOAT, honestly.
Which country is less likable? All right, guys. France or Brazil? Monk.
France.
Sniper. Monk, you got it right. I'm waiting for Sniper's answer, but you were certainly correct. Yeah, it is. The answer is France is very unlikable.
But
Brazil, I'm down with.
But not the women. I can't include the women. The women, Brazil wins hands down.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
We're favoring Brazil. I asked it in a funky way. We both prefer Brazil over France in every way, including the women. I don't know about the food. I haven't eaten Brazilian food. I don't know what kind of cuisine is coming out of Brazil.
As is bound to happen, and whenever he joins the podcast, we have spiraled out talking about food and women, and no one's mad about it.
You always have to bring up food. You always have to bring up food in every podcast. Every time.
And women.
Women, food, wags, all of that.
Wags.
Every pod. Every like, we're picking Jackson Dart over in best ball season because have you seen his girlfriend? Ay, Dios mío, ta loca. Holy shit.
You know, I do watch and follow tennis, not super close as I'm about to lead on, but really, you know, I watch matches, I keep it on the side. I enjoy tennis. I just found out that apparently sometime in the spring, Taylor Fritz and his girlfriend Morgan, the blonde who was at all the Grand Slam events, broke up. So it's really a sad day in terms of wags.
I don't know who that is, but I'm certainly going to look
her
up.
Idea. Look up Taylor Fritz ex-girlfriend. She is.
Here's how smoking hot Jackson Dart's girlfriend is. I finally signed up for Instagram, and she's my only follow. Just for that. I have an Instagram account. It only follows one person, and it's Jackson Dart's girl. I don't even know her name. Well, Jackson Dart's girl.
Can't wait for the letter to show up when the letter shows up to your door next week.
No,
it's flagged in some algorithm.
I hope she shows up, not him. Actually, I hope any of them show up. Happy.
I think it would probably be a representative and not her.
I'm keeping this timestamp, guys. If you want just a wild conversation, rewind 2 minutes. This is, though, Ilia Topura versus Justin Gaethje for the UFC Lightweight Championship of the World. Topura comes in at -550. Gaethje is +400. Proof that if you cry enough, you will get a title shot. Yeah, I said it. I don't like how this came about at all. For Justin Gaethje. Not a fan. Fight ends at the distance, -1,000, 50-50 to be under 1.5 rounds. Salaries for this one. Topura flexes 9,600. Captain will run you 14.4. Gaethje is 5,400. And Captain will run you 8.1. Luckily, with my little commentary, it's my turn to go first. I think Topura fucking smashes, and I think Gaethje's going to be overowned because of his name value. And I think it's one of the bigger leverage spots in the card. If Gaethje wins, well, I had a bad fucking week, and that's just what it is. I think Gaethje's going to be overowned. I don't like that Topura already tattooed Gaethje's name on his fucking body crossed off that he beat him. That is wild.
Did?
That's bad luck.
Yeah, you know his list of people he beat. He already has Gaethje on there. Like,
that's crazy.
I don't like that at all,
bro. How do you uncross off a name? That's wild.
that is some wild work. I'll find the image.
That's like counting. That's like counting the chips in poker when you think your opponent's got a 2% shot at pulling like an 8 of clubs for the straight flush. Don't.
That's
the
crazy.
only time that happens. Yeah. Burn.
Yep.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I have to double check and make sure. I'll share my screen. I have to double check and make sure this isn't a hoax, because that would be really, really bad if I'm getting fooled by this. And if I am, oh well. Let me see.
They did do some shit talking on Twitter though.
No, but it's believable. He's the type of person where it's believable.
Did you see the shit talk that Ilia, like this guy Topura? Oh yeah, he did it. Oh no.
Wow.
Well, go on Twitter. They were shit
golly.
talking back and forth about each other's wives and this and that. And Topura is like a fucking killer, man. You don't want to mess with him on Twitter at all.
You don't want to mess with him.
Oh, you know what? It does appear to be a hoax.
Okay.
All right, I fell for it.
Either way, he's the type of person that's very believable.
Right, doesn't he? Like, I totally believed it, and I saw it in 2 or 3 places this week, and I was like, that can't be a thing. And I kept seeing it, and I was like, all right, I guess I believe it.
Let me show you guys what's hanging behind me on the wall for this and every podcast that I do. But none other than our guy, Ilia Topura.
Yeah. I'm going to put a bow on this fight and give it to Geek with his. Just play Topura. He's my favorite play on the slate. Think Gaethje gets smashed and retires off into the sunset. Geek, you got his picture up. You're playing him too, right?
Hell yeah. Listen, I wasn't sure about Topura, and what more does a person have to do than beat Max Holloway, right? Who beats Max Holloway? Oh, he also beat Volk.
Knocked him out.
He knocked him the fuck out. You never see that. He beat Volkanovski and outclassed him. Excuse me? I was shocked at every single one of these wins. And then, of course, Dubronk's fine literally crushes him. So I don't know what more Topura can do to let you know that he's the GOAT of all of this. With that being said, this is a fight. There are a couple of stats going on, and I do think it's going to stay standing, and I think these guys are going to be standing up, winging bombs at each other. I just think Topura is better. He's just better across the board. Gaethje's coming off that win as an underdog, but I played Gaethje, and he was my favorite play on the card against Paddy Pimblett as well. So, hey, that was pretty obvious. He never should have been a massive underdog against Pimblett. But Topura is much like what I was talking about with Periera. Topura is also making a name for himself as the possible GOAT of MMA. He's going to have championships at different weight classes in a minute. Like, he's going to start moving up in weight after this fight, after this win, assuming he gets the win. I don't know. I have a hard time. Like I said, I think you got to play some. I think you got to play some Gaethje just for shits and gigs. It's America, and he's a great American fighter. Like, if you want a guy that represents America, you need a Boston accent. To me, if you're going to be going to the White House, representing America, having a Boston accent, listen, America started in Boston. Okay? Without the Bostonians tossing tea over in the water, we wouldn't even be a country. We'd all be talking British. All right? So if that tells you anything.
We do talk English.
No, we'd be talking British. You know what the fuck are you talking about? Go to the pub, the public house. We'd be talking like that. You don't understand what the hell we're saying. So I want to thank the people of Boston of 1776 for having the balls to stand up to the Brits.
It's an MMA podcast, right? What the hell happened?
Birthing Justin Gaethje, birthing Boston Rob. Let's not forget about Boston Rob, great American hero. But in this fight, I think Topura is going to win. Sorry. That being said, I think you keep it standing, and maybe Justin Gaethje, if he can keep it going for a while, could be that underdog that you need, right? Like, if he doesn't get knocked out real quick, he's going to land a lot of strikes. So I don't mind him on this. I don't mind him on this card.
Monk, what do you got for our main event?
The pick, make sure I'm not muted. The pick is definitely Topura. I agree completely here. But I do think you have to play some Gaethje. A little bit at least. His defense is absolutely terrible. He gets hit with 7 strikes a minute. However, Topura is back up at lightweight. I know he fought Charles Oliveira, but Oliveira he has power sometimes, but he's not really primary striker. And the other time he fought at lightweight, he got knocked down by Jai Herbert, but then he came back to life and absolutely took Jai's soul with that right hand. That was crazy. So it should be noted that he's going back up to 155. Obviously, he's trying to get the title, but that guy's hit a lot harder there. And Topura gets hit a lot. He gets hit with 3.8 strikes a minute. Oliveira landed 3.6, Holloway 6.8 expected, Volkanovski 5.5, Emmett 3.4, Bryce Mitchell 4.4 strikes per minute. So he's not, Ryan Hall was the lowest at 2.09, and Ryan maybe hasn't thrown 2.09 strikes his whole career. So I'm not saying that's a huge deal, but it should be looked out for, and you should play a little bit of Gaethje. Other than that, yeah, it's Topura all day. I don't. If he's not too small for this, then he's going to absolutely demolish Gaethje. He hits hard as hell, and yeah, we're watching possible greatness in action. That's what I was trying to watch with Wemby. Last night's collapse, and that's what I'm trying to watch with Topura.
You pronounced OG wrong.
Ananobi.
You pronounced
hey guys, did I skip a fight?
No.
Did I skip Hoofy and Chandler, or did we talk about?
Oh
it?
yeah. Wait, did you skip that one?
Yeah, you did. You
literally skipped it.
Well, why did nobody tell me? Oh my god, we gotta.
You went to Hokit Lewis, and I was like, oh, maybe the shit got switched around.
Nope. So bonus fight. It's actually the third fight in the card. Gonna mess up our order here on the podcast. We're gonna make sure we cover it. Mauricio Hoofy, the most expensive fighter in the card, whose name we threw out a bunch for that reason, taking on Michael Chandler. Hoofy is the big favorite at -600. Chandler is +425. Fight ends inside the distance is minus a lot.
Minus a million.
Well, loads.
We got to work on your
-500. Under 1.5 rounds is -125. Salaries for this one. Go back on my list here. Chandler is 5,000, which is 7.5 as a captain. Hoofy is 10,000. That's 15,000 as a captain. Geek, who you got?
Yeah, I mean, I was saying this before. I don't like Chandler at all. He just gasses himself out early, and he doesn't have 2 rounds of fighting in him. He's got 1 in him. He seems to be washed. He's been washed for a while. The problem is Hoofy is not affordable on this card. He's irrelevant. You literally cannot play this guy at all. You can't play him. So good luck squeezing him into a lineup and having 4 underdogs in that lineup, because that's what you need to do. So because of that, and because of the way the salaries work out, yeah, I think Hoofy wins this. And I think he probably wins it in round 2 after Chandler gasses himself out. Is Chandler live? I guess, he throws big early, but Chandler kind of reminds me of, like, I don't know. He reminds me, I hate to say it. He reminds me almost like a Brundage, where like he throws big for a minute and then
that is offensive. Sir.
I don't think he's been garbage. You can't be offensive on a guy who has 6 fights in the UFC and 7
losses.
Yeah, 7 losses out of.
And he has the same hairline as Brundage too. So
yeah, actually his hair. I don't know. I'm looking at an older picture, but he just doesn't win. He has 1 win against the most. Actually, he did beat Dan Hooker in that UFC premiere, which, all right, more power to him, Hooker, whatever. But since then, his only win was against the ultimate washed Tony Ferguson. Beyond that, I mean, he's losing to everybody. I think Michael Chandler, what he should have done was move down in opponent quality significantly. And, if you wanted to win some fights, let's throw him in there against, some of the scrub class and let him get a couple wins. But I don't see it here. I think he's fighting for a paycheck. Hoofy hasn't shown too many weaknesses. I think he wins it. But Sniper, you have a strong take. So I don't.
I definitely can't play Hoofy for all the reasons you like, and I'm still going to pick Hoofy to win slightly. But prime Michael Chandler, is the exact formula how you beat Hoofy. Just look at Benoit Saint-Denis. Pressure, wrestling. That simple. You can beat Hoofy is beatable. And Michael Chandler at his best will pressure you and wrestle you, and has had success doing it against high-level competition. Now, has he gotten finishes as of late? No. And he's ended up losing fights. He's lost his last 3 fights. he got subbed by Dustin Poirier, who took down 3 times. The Oliveira fight, nearly won that fight in the first round. That was not this fight. That was back in 2021. He fought Gaethje and went to decision against Gaethje. Like, he can get takedowns, and you have to go back. Yes, his older UFC fights, but his Bellator fights, he can do it. The reason why you have to pick Ruffy, though, is because time is undefeated. His durability is clearly down as well. He probably gets finished, but I think he's live. If he does not get finished, if he can land a takedown, I think he is actually in the top 3 live underdogs on the card, because all it comes down to is a durability issue. He's more live than Kyle Daukaus, despite the odds. He's, I think, more live than Justin Gaethje, despite the odds. He's, I think, top 3 live underdog and the cheapest fighter on the card. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play him, and kind of hope. I was telling Geek before, and I'm toying with the idea to win a whole tournament. You know what people aren't gonna do? Captain the cheapest fighter on the card. Like, you want to. If a solo lineup is going to win, it's something like that. And
this kind of card, yeah, the DFS way in this kind of card, you got to get weird with the lineup. You might as well, because like there's going to be a couple of obvious lineups that everybody uses, and it's not even going to be worth winning with that lineup, right? And you're only playing 6 fights out of the 7. Again, we've already eliminated 2 of the favorites as even usable, with O'Malley really unusable and Ruffy too expensive to use. So, like, there's just not that much going on this card. You could just spin up a few lineups, and you're covering almost every angle. So I don't think a lot of people are going to captain. I don't think a lot of people are going to play Chandler. I think he'll be a guy, Sniper, that if you play him, you're getting unique just by having him in the flex.
Yep. And what do you think, Monk? You know what? This week, I'm all about it. Yeah. Monk, how about for you? How are you breaking down this fight that we skipped?
Yeah, I completely agree here. You can't play Ruffy, way too expensive. He's probably going to beat Chandler. And Chandler's only hope is to land a couple takedowns. I mean, 0.58 per 5 minutes through his career. He gets outstruck in basically every fight, and his striking defense is absolutely abysmal. He's going to have to watch out for the slick and athletic Ruffy, though, throwing a couple of knees or something when he's coming in for a very predictable takedown. So, I mean, we might see a Jorge Masvidal, Ben Askren 2 type situation here. That is 100% in the cards.
That would be bad.
So yeah, I'm not, probably unlikely, but
sadly for Chandler's only path to Chandler's only path to a win is that takedown. I don't know if I would say that, but Ruffy is pretty damn good on the takedown defense, 85%.
For sure. I mean, he hasn't been tested a ton. I mean, Fiziev attempted 1. BSD was 3 for 10. Other than that, it's nobody's tried except for his DWCS fight. So that's probably going to be tested a little bit here. But, man, it's the height difference. It's the reach. It's the athleticism. It's the age. It's the clear eye test of how washed this guy is. I mean, he made Paddy Pimblett look like, I don't even know, the OG Ananobi of the UFC. So, sorry. So yeah, I gotta go with Ruffy.
I like
but yeah, Chandler's gotta be you gotta mix him in there a little bit because of the price.
A well-timed reference right there.
Thank you.
All right, I think we broke down all the fights. Good, 7 fights over an hour, knocking it out, but we're not done yet. We got to talk kill shots. First, I will ask you again, please go ahead and press the like button. Kill shot usually is an under-owned play that's going to help you win a tournament. I'm going to open it up this week and just it could be a fighter, it could be a strategy, unique showdown slate. What is your kill shot for this card? And I am going to tell you that I think the kill shot this week for me is an underdog as your captain. My top 2 choices, Chandler and Lewis. Risky, could bomb, but I think that's got the most ROI upside to get a big old payday your way. And whatever dog you like the most, I think play that as your captain. You guys, who's got a kill shot ready?
I'm going to call it a weird, obviously this card is weird and so the kill shot's kind of weird, right? I could say, I like Steve Garcia to win. That's not a kill shot. That's the most popular underdog on the card. I do like Kyle Daukaus. I give him a shot. I think that Bo Nickal might be overhyped compared to his actual skill set. But for my kill shot, I'm going to go with Hokit winning the fight in round 1, putting up a big score. So Hokit as a captain potentially, as opposed to Ilia Topuria or, you know, one of the other kind of higher odds to score massive, or at least perception of massive score guys.
Yeah, I like it. Monk?
Trying to find odds here. Okay, so we all kind of were off this fight a little bit, so we'll make a bold prediction here. And I know it's not the craziest wide odds either, but we're like, oh, O'Malley's a hobby. It's gonna kind of be, you know, whatever. Probably nobody's gonna score a ton. What if Sean O'Malley just knocks this dude out, just stops everything in his tracks? All this hype from Zahabi, it's so palpable that everybody knows his name. Yeah, I think maybe Sean gets it done super early and drops could drop a big score here with a round 1 knockout. Maybe he gets a knockdown, Zahabi scrambles, gets up, gets knocked down again. Sean O'Malley puts up like 120. So I'm just trying to get a little different. Yeah, not many places to get different here. So
In terms of getting different, I get it. I don't think I'm on board, but in terms of getting different.
You know what the proper kill shot is? Play this one on FanDuel, guys. FanDuel did not do weirdness with the salaries. As a matter of fact, on FanDuel, in order to make it work, they've got Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler at $2, effectively free, right? You can make lineups.
Please play them, please.
I mean, they're free. Like, you can make lineups on DraftKings, on FanDuel, that aren't that bad. Like, it's kind of not bad. So I would say maybe for, you know, kill shot number 2, it would be maybe play this one card, play some lineups on FanDuel where, for whatever reason, their salary and setup, it allows you to just do a little bit more and allows you to actually get some winners in your lineup and be less kind of beholden to just a small number of pathways.
All right, guys. That's what we got for UFC Freedom 250. DFS Army members, you got any questions? Hit us in the Discord, notes, optimizer tool, all the good stuff will be out this week. As always, if you're not a member, link in the description. Make sure you become a DFS Army member. Appreciate everyone who likes, comments, subscribes, all the good stuff. You guys get anything before we dip on out of here?
That's it.
That is a wrap for UFC Freedom 250. Good luck in those contests, and we'll see you next week.